Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to another broadcast of Life Behind Closed Doors. I am the CEO of Life Behind Closed Doors, Lady Elaine D. Nelson. Life Behind Closed Doors is an organization that assists domestic violence victims. We assist them with knowledge and awareness of how to escape domestic violence, how to free themselves from domestic violence, and we provide them with tools of surviving domestic violence. We also provide them with knowledge of how to live after domestic violence. And I want to say thank you to everyone that has taken the time out to join us on today. We greatly appreciate you all for being with us on today. So we do ask that you tag, like, and share. That you do tag, like, and share. And we appreciate you all today. So, oh, thank you. Thank you for the glasses tip. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Uh, Sister Donaldson, Charles Donaldson. Okay, I know who that is. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Good evening, Cesare. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I don't know what's going on that I can't tag you all's comments today. I don't know what's happening with it, but I see your comments and thank you. I don't know what's going on with it, but good evening. Thank you. Yes, I opted out of the contacts for tonight. So please do me a favor. Thank you, as I stated earlier. Tag, like, share, because with you tag, liking, and sharing, you give me the opportunity for this broadcast to go further. And I appreciate you all. And our highest views have been 1,000 views for a broadcast. And I appreciate you all because without you, my broadcast couldn't go further. So tag, like, share. Come on, tag everybody. I'm going to put the commercial back on. I'm going to put the video back on while I tag some people so we can notify someone that they're on, and then do that for me, okay? And then we're going to get right into today's broadcast, the dating life, surviving domestic violence after the dating life. So give me a few minutes and we'll be right back with you. All righty, thanks. Appreciate you. And just like that, we are back. All right, the dating life. So, as I stated before, you can find us if you have the book, The Hidden Rage. If you have my book, The Hidden Rage, I'm going to give you a few minutes to go and grab it because we're going to be on page 24 for tonight. We're going to be on page 24 for tonight. So go ahead and grab the book. Go ahead and grab the book. We're going to be on page 24 for tonight. All right. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get all of my gadgets together over here. And as I stated, this is Life Behind Closed Doors broadcast. We assist with domestic violence victims. And yes, opted out of the contacts for tonight, so it's glasses for me. Thank you, Jesus. So, on page 24 of our book, The Hidden Rage, go grab your book. Go grab your book. Go back, grab your book. Chapter 2, The Dating Life. The Dating Life. He was always the one to make the plans, where we would go, what we do, the time, and etc. He planned everything, and I must be honest, he was very good at it. After a few dates, I noticed he became a little more clingy. When we would be apart, he would call me asking me what I was doing and ask for my whereabouts. I remember the thought crossed my mind, am I giving this dude too much control over me? Am I giving this dude too much control over me? I'm sorry if I think I lost my broadcast. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. I'm still here. Thank you. Because it told me that I lost you all. All right. He would have control over me. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Control versus concern when dating. Control versus concern when dating. Now, let me go back. Details we miss during our dating. Details we tend to miss during dating. We because we get the butterflies and we get the and we get all of that when we are dating, and we tend to miss signs of domestic violence. Which even not in domestic violence, even if they're not a person that has a domestic violence tendencies, we tend to miss those things when we're dealing with dating, and we miss the signs. But because of the circumstances that I have, hey Angie, hey Cuz, hey Terrell, I see you all. Thank you all. Because of during the dating and things that I dealt with domestic violence, now my views are a little keen. My hindsight is keen as to okay, what I will tolerate and what I will not tolerate, what I will look for in dating and what I will not look for in dating. So we do miss the signs. We miss the signs because we think about, yeah, we're blind. We're blind because, yeah, of course, we're blind to it. We're blind to what we what we see, because if you were like me, hadn't dated in a long time, and it's like, okay, I'm in a date now. I'm dating now. So it's the butterflies, as I stated earlier. It's the not looking for the signs. It's okay, I'm on a date, haven't been on one in a long time, so it feels good. You feel good. So you dismiss all of the signs, you dismiss all of the things that you would not put up with. You dismiss all of the signs of what you wouldn't look for, what you would look for in a date or in a mate. So here it is. I did not see that what he was doing was a form of control, was a form of control over my life. So is it concern or is it control? Now, concern is defined as worry, a noun for worry, worry. Then the verb is a matter of interest or importance to someone. That's the definition of concern. So when I say that um when we would be apart, he would call me asking me what I was doing and ask for my whereabouts. Now, is that concern about where my whereabouts is? Or is that you really want to know what my whereabouts are so you can continue to do what you're doing? Good evening, Dr. Frank Cornelius. Or you would be concerned about where I was because you're making sure that what you're doing, I'm not going to catch you, or wherever you are, I don't see you. so you could, or what time I'm going to be finished with what I'm doing so you can continue to do what you're doing. Is it concern or is it control? Concern and control are two different things. Concern, as I stated, is worry, a matter of interest or importance to someone. Control is defined as the power to influence or direct people's behavior or the course of an event. It's also control is also to determine the behavior or supervise. So here it is. What a domestic violence abuser will do, they will supervise you. I'm just going to leave that right there. And if anybody can be a witness to that, come on, you can say it in the comments, because yes, they will. They will supervise you. They will supervise what you're doing, where you're going, what time you're supposed to be there, and all of that. Because why? That's their form of control. And we miss that in dating. We think that he concerned about me. He protected me. No, baby. Let's just be truthful. Let's just be truthful. It is a form of control for abusers. It's a form of control, because what happens is what they do is they groom you. They start to groom you in the dating. Abusers start to groom you in dating as to how they want you to conduct yourselves, how they want you to do. It's a form of control when they start to ask you where you are, what you're doing, how do you, and he did all of that in the beginning, and I missed it. I missed it. Now, please understand me. Understand me. There are some men, when they ask what you're doing, you can tell the difference. Come on now. We can tell the difference, because why? It'll feel different. We have that women intuition, and we tend to turn it off at times. We tend to turn that women intuition off because we get blindsided, because we haven't dated in a long time. And then we want this person to make us feel good. We want this, okay, they used to control who I can and cannot talk to. Yes. Yes. And we miss that in the dating phase of our lives, when we're dating someone, that the abuser has a controlling content that he does. Is it control or is it concern? Is it control or is it concern? Now, on a couple of occasions, we would be out on a date and we'd run into a few people that I knew. And of course, I would greet them with a hug and a friendly kiss on the cheek. Every time that would happen, I would notice his body language. His mood changed every time. It would be a guy. His mood would change every time it would be a guy. Now, I'm not sure. I know I have some victims on my live tonight. And you don't have to, you don't have to agree with me. But my question to you is, did you ever notice that? That when your friends or someone, you would introduce him to a guy, I could tell the difference. After a while, it would be, hey, whole voice tone change and everything. You hear the voice tone, this was during dating. You'll hear, hey, what's up? How you doing, guy? Yeah. Like my niece said, yep. Then it's a fight as soon as I get in the car. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Hey, what's up? How you doing? That's how the response would be. And then, that's how then I when I get home, it was yes, it was a different story. That all of that took place during the dating, but I missed it. And now that I'm out of it, I was like, Really, really. I missed all of that. Hey, cuz, I missed all of that during the dating phase. That while I would introduce him to guy friends, someone on the singing field, it was, hey, how you doing? And let me tell you, I know he don't mind me calling his name, but Ricky DeRay had an event at War Memorial, and I introduced him to Ricky DeRay. Hey, Tiff, I introduced him to Ricky DeRay, and and it was another night. Months later, Ricky DeRay called, and anybody that knows Ricky DeRay calls late at night because that's when he's slowing down and he's making his calls. And Ricky DeRay called, and I answered the phone, and the other person was sitting there, and Ricky DeRay was like, "Hey sis, how you doing? I'm fine, bro. I got something for the girls and check the date out, and I got asked one." And the phone was on the speaker because that was another thing that started happening during the dating process. It was, oh, who you talking to? Who that is? Who was that? Who was that? Wow. When I hang the phone up, oh, who was that? With a smile on his face, but not knowing that he really wanted to know because that was a control factor of who you're talking to. My niece says, thought they would change trying to see the better in people. No. Then I would, yes, trying to see the better in people. No, they would not. And let me go back to about Ricky DeRay. When I hung the phone up, if I tell you all, he cursed me so and told me to call Ricky DeRay back. Told me to call him back. And he cursed Ricky DeRay. He cursed him out. But this was after we were married. Let me tell you something. I missed that during the dating process of when I'm on the phone. Oh, babe, who was that? With the smile. Hey, babe, who was that? No, you really didn't want to know who that was. You wanted to know who that was so you could start to eliminate me from the people that love me. And abusers do that. They start to eliminate you from the people. Start making excuses of why you shouldn't be around that particular person, around those particular family members. Is it concern or is it control? Concern and control is different. So, next question. Protection or insecurity? Protection or insecurity? I'm on page 25 in the book. Women know the signs, body language, and facial expressions our men make. We know the signs. Hey, sis. Hey, Naya. We know the signs that our men make. Come on now. We could tell the difference in their body languages, especially when you've been with that man for a while. And even it don't take much to know. But during the dating phase, we forget all of that. We don't look for those signs. We think that when he's sticking his chest out, it's a protection. But little do we know, there's some insecurities down on the inside of him. There was insecurities. He would stand there with his chest puffed out, and his entire demeanor would change. All of this was starting to happen during the dating phase, but I missed it. Right, trying to say that it was protection. And it wasn't protection. It was insecurities that we miss. Because why? There's something that somewhere down the line, nobody helped him with in life. Nobody told him how to survive through that in life. One day while out shopping, we stopped in. Well, let me go back. He was already a big guy, so his stance could be intimidating to some folks. Please don't let another man speak to me. Honey, his chest would grow even bigger, even bigger. And then that would be a conversation. That would be, oh, especially, oh, who was that? During the dating phase, I had to tell him who each person was, which is fine, which is okay. But why am I getting the backlash? Why do you make me feel like it's starting to be an obsession before the confession that you are an abuser? Then you do not confess that you are an abuser, because that's their way. That's their way. The state of being obsessed with someone or something. If I can't have you, then no one will. Let me tell you something. He said it one time. He said, we were talking, and this was while we were dating. And I laughed it off. I laughed it off. I laughed it off. He said, you know, I'll kill you, right? And I said, stop playing. But that was during our dating phase. You know I'll kill you, right? But I missed it during our dating phase. And then when I thought about it later on in the years, I mentioned that to my mom. Oh, he told me he would cut my face so no one would ever want me. Listen, I heard those same exact words. Good evening, Sabrina. Yes, he said to me, you know I'll kill you, right? And that was during our dating phase, but I missed it and shared that with my mom and laughed about it. My mom said nothing. She was quiet on that phone. But we miss the signs during dating phase because we get all hung up in the dating. Protection. Listen, the definition of protection is the action of protecting or the state of being protected. Not the kind of protection that the abuser gives, meaning that you can't talk to anybody, you can't be around anybody, you need to be in this bubble, because I started to be in a bubble of just being home so I don't have to hear or don't have to deal with the abuse. That's not protection. That's control. That's obsessed control. That's control. Then that's his insecurities. That's his insecurities. What? Listen. Page 25 of the book. One day while out shopping, we stopped in to do a little ring shopping. We got the engagement ring that I wanted, and we continued our day enjoying each other's company. He was a man that loved to shop and look good and made sure I was looking good also. I already told you that he loved to surprise me with outfits and shoes at my job. But sometimes the surprises would also be laid out on my bedside, on the side of my bed when I got home from work. The times he would bring it by my job, he would walk in the main office with his hands full and the biggest smile on his face. Baby, look what I bought you. This attention would have my heart smiling just to see my man take the time to go shopping for me, bring it to the job. Am I a sucker for love? Either way, I was hooked. His love felt so genuine and sincere. Either way, I was hooked. Because why? I hadn't dated in a long time. So here it is. You're taking gifts by the house, and my daughter, is allowing you to come in and put them on because she knows, hey, you're the person that I'm dating, and allow you to put them on my bed and go about your way during our dating phase. This is what he would do. Now let me put this disclaimer out here. I will not tell you all that all of our days was bad. No, they were not. We had some good days where we would laugh and where we would smile, and we would have a day of just laughter the whole entire day. But can I be honest with you? The bad days outweighed the good days. Eddie Grissom say, wow, that sounds so controlling. The stories you're telling at this moment. Listen, I have stories that I have not written in my book. I have stories that I have not written, that I have not told about. Sabrina says he had to clock you to see where you were so he could do what he was doing undercoverly. Yes. And I said before, he would start to drop me off to my work, to my job, in my car. But I learned later on that was so I wouldn't have a car to go back home to see that he wasn't home, or to go to his job where he said he would be. But he was taking my car to drive his women in during the daytime or nighttime. I can remember one time, and this was after we were married. I can remember one time going out of town, myself and my daughter Shy. We went out of town, and I wanted to see my parents. And just rode to Carolina to go see my parents. And I said, okay, I'm gonna go by Tallahassee to see my son. And I told him that. But on my way driving, before I left Carolina, my mom said, tell so-and-so, don't do nothing I wouldn't do. I'm like, I said, okay. But in the back of my head, I'm like, Mom said that for a reason. Mind you, my mom doesn't know that I'm being abused. My parents don't know I'm being abused. No one knows that I'm being abused. And I told my daughter, Shy, I said, I'm not going to Tallahassee, I'm going home. So while I'm traveling home, I called him. I'm like, hey, babe, what you doing? Oh, I'm out here trying to get this work done and everything. You know, I'm working hard. I got to work late tonight. You know, I'm out here sweating. Da, 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 da. He's telling me all of this. He's working hard. He out there working hard. He got a lot of work to do. He was doing detailing cars. Got a lot to do. Da, 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 da. I don't tell him that I'm on my way back to Miami. I don't tell him that I'm on my way back to Miami. I get back to Miami, please. The detailing truck is backed up in the yard. He didn't go anywhere, hadn't done anything. And I called someone that I know that was in Miami just to see what the weather was down there. And they said it was storming, raining. But he told me that he was washing cars all day He was trying to make money, and that's what he was doing. No. But let me tell you, when he came back to that house and saw that I was there, and I was in the house, my daughter was in the other room, he walked in the room and said, "You lying, so and so and so and so and so on." Called me all out of my name. Said I ought to beat the out of you for lying to me. Or you thought your so and so and so on was gonna sneak up on me and catch me doing something. I could do whatever I want to do. And let me tell you something. That was one of those nights. I'm trying not to shed tears. That was one of those nights that I thank God that I wasn't home by myself. Because that would be the only time that he would abuse me. When my nephew wasn't there, when my daughter wasn't there, or no one was home. That would be the only time. And if I would have noticed that during the dating phase, but to be honest with you, the abuse did not happen. The physical abuse did not go on during the dating phase. The physical abuse started after I said I do. But I missed all of that during the dating phase. Yes, he had to beat you, man. Yes. That's what abuser will do. They beat you getting mad. They beat you getting mad, and they are the biggest liars, like Sabrina says. And that night, I thank God my daughter Shy was there. I tell you all, I knew I would have gotten the worst beating of my life that night. I know it. And I thank God that she was there. She was my protection that night. But I missed that during the dating phase because none of that took place. Yeah. Like I said, there were good days, but all of those days were not good. The bad days outweigh the good days. The stuff, I have a trouble saying that word in my tongue. Statistics. Thank you. I had to get it because I'm tight tongue. But these were done for college students because I wanted to get a younger age tonight. The common age in which domestic violence occurs is 18 through 24. That's when it starts. Elaine, did you see any signs of odd behavior during the dating phase? Thank you for the questions. Please send your questions. Honestly, no. Honestly, no. I did not. I did not. Because when I was happy to be in a relationship, happy to be dating. Because it was like 4 or 5 years before I had started dating. So I was happy to be in a relationship. I was happy to be dating someone. So and then, like I said before, some things started happening, church related, and I started to get into that place that I didn't want anything to do with church. People in church. Let me say that. Let me rephrase that. I don't want anybody to get that I don't like church. I am a church girl. I will be a church girl till Jesus come. But I do have a balance. Praise God. So, to answer to your question, Eddie, no. I didn't notice any of that. Any of that. But here's what happened. Looking back, something happened in the courthouse, and I think I shared this story before, when I received a text message from one of my friends, one of my promoter friends, and he saw the teddy bear, the text teddy bear saying, "Thank you, I appreciate you, still my girl," meaning that, honest to God, there was no relationship thing, you know. He took my phone in the courthouse in the foyer part and threw it up against the wall. He cared less that the police was there. And let me tell you something. I took him back after that day. And I broke it off with him, but I took him back. Because I figured maybe it was something I did. I thought it was something I did. I saw mine, but I did not or did not acknowledge them. Oh wow. The buying your clothes and popping up on your job was a big one. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But here it is. I was in a different headspace. I was in a different headspace of not wanting to be bothered with people altogether or to deal with anything that was going on. I was in a different headspace. So I missed all of that during the day. I was just in a place of, I'm in a relationship and I'm tired of being by myself. Because why? After my first situation, I didn't learn how to love myself first. I didn't learn how to date myself. I didn't know how to date myself. I didn't. So I have to be honest. After my first situation, I didn't know how to date myself because I wasn't taught how to date myself. I don't know if anybody can be a witness to that. Thank you for the question. I appreciate that, Eddie. So this poll was taken for some college students, and it says that when the poll was taken, the ages of 18 to 24 was when this was taken, for male and female. 43% of college women report experiencing abusive dating behaviors, including physical, sexual, verbal, and controlling abuse. Sabrina says, for me, it was called settling. I settled for less. Yes, that's good. That's good. If you had a guy friend, and I mean friend, that will keep it real with you at that time, would you have been good? Would have been good to warn you? Yes. But see what happened, Eddie? I'm a private person when it comes to my relationships. So nobody really knew I was dating but those that's in my circle. So that's what happened with that. That's what happened. So to share what I was dealing with or what was going on, cousin says abusers always make you think you're the problem. Yes. 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 So to have a guy friend to discuss what I was going through, Eddie, I didn't. Because what I started doing, I didn't tell anybody or none of my guy friends that I was in a relationship. Because I know my guy friends, they would have been like, okay, well, who is he? What he doing? While the dating phase was going on. So I shut them all out. I did. I have to be honest with you. I must be honest with you. That's why. So I didn't tell them. I did not. The most common abusive behavior experience is controlling behavior. 32% physical, 22% physical, and sexual, 22% also. Abusers are all about Control. They select your attire, your friends, and where you go, how long you stay. Yes. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. My abuser, and I think I said it before, my abuser, when I got married to him, he started if he started going with me, but then he stopped. And I think and I know that he was going with me so he could scope out who everybody was, who I said they were to me. And was it true that I say they were, who they were? Then when he stopped going, if I said I had to sing, I had to have something, a program with my name on it, stating that's where I was, and put it on the kitchen table or the dining room table so he could see it when he came in. Control. Control. Control, which started in the dating phase, but I missed it. And it continued on into the marriage phase. Control. Now, let's talk about what Sabrina said. Where you go and how long you stay. That was another thing that started to happen. And thank you for Sabrina. That was another thing that started to happen is he would, oh, you being there too long. So now I'm leaving church before the benediction. I'm leaving church before the benediction. And my sis Naya Johnson, she caught it one night. She was like, sis, you leaving before the benediction? And I was like, yeah, I gotta go. I'm in a hurry, I gotta go. Right. Because that's what happens. Listen, understand this. I'm that person that tells my significant other, okay, babe, I'm going da 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 da. And when I get there, I made it safe. Da 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 da. Because it's called accountability. There's a difference between accountability and control. There's a total difference between accountability and control. A total difference between accountability and control. Plus, he knew where you were, so he could do his dirt. Most abusers are cheaters. Of course they are. Of course they are. My abuser started telling me that he was one place and I had spies. Go over there, see if he's there. No, he's not there. Okay, I know. Yes. All right. Teens report. We're talking about teens today because I want to throw this in. So in case there are some teens that may view this poll, view this broadcast today, excuse me, tonight. But to finish reading, hey, Nikki, yes. My goddaughter, Nikki, I would send her. Yes. Go see if he's over where he said. No, Ma, he's not over there. Right. So I want to share this for teens tonight. Teens report an even higher occurrence of abuse dating behaviors, including physical, sexual, verbal, and controlling abuse. The most common abusive behavior experience is controlling behavior, 47%. Physical, sexual, 29%. And technical behavior, 24%. Among those college students that experience an abusive relationship, 70% did not realize at the time they were in an abusive relationship. Okay, Eddie, what Eddie is saying, the worldly behavior of not being saved by cursing you out of your name would have been a cutoff of the equally yoke of him not being evil. Let me see it. Hold on, because one side of mine is not working tonight. You had to have been very uncomfortable very much of time. Okay, Eddie. So let me interject on that, and then I'll go back to the polls that I have. While dating him, and then we're gonna while dating him, he didn't curse me. No, he didn't curse me out not one time. Not one time. The cur- the cursing didn't happen until after we were married. Because while we were dating, he was heavily involved in church, which meant he performed. Heavily involved in church while we were dating. Abusers are performers. They are actors. Abusers are actors. So during our dating phase, he was heavily in church. He was heavily in church. Yes. Went with me. Praise God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. But then I became a B after we were married. I became the ugliest thing he was married to, or he's ever dated, should I say, because I was his first marriage. Yes, I discussed him after we were married. He married me after we were married. After we were married is when I received all the negative things. But during the dating process, none of that happened. I was never called out of my name. But I missed the controlling factor. Victims of domestic violence take a lot, and in the beginnings, statistics shows violence do not start in the beginning. The verbal part normally starts first. That's what I'm talking about, that time after your marriage. Yes. Thank you for the clarity, Eddie. Yes. I became, listen, let me tell you something. Everybody knows that I speak. Hey, how you doing? Because I love people. I love people. Everybody knows, hey, how you doing? How you do? That's me. But when I got with him, hey, Gerard. But when I got with him and the abuse started, I found myself avoiding people because that's what victims do. We avoid speaking to people, especially when especially when our abusers is with us. We our abusers. We avoid people so our abusers would not have to say anything. We avoid family members. And people know, people in my life know when it comes to the Smith family, I drop everything. Oh, what y'all need? Because those are my children's family. That's family. But when I got married to him, he took me away from that. He took me away from spending time with my children. I've been in a situation where a guy was doing everything to try to impress me, but after a while, he really changed and became a stalker. Wow. Because I was in fear. Exactly, Sabrina. Because I was in fear of my life, in fear of not wanting anybody else to have the backlash that I was receiving. So let me protect those that are in my life. Let me protect my family from what I'm receiving. But I missed that during the dating because that didn't happen during the dating phase of my life. And I'm going to say it again. There were some good days out of all of this, but the bad days outweigh the good. And to this day, I am friends with his family. They see my broadcast, but I have to be truthful about domestic violence. I must be truthful about it. Fear is extremely powerful contributor in any domestic violence situation. Yes, it is. And ravishing, when they become a stalker, queen, let me tell you, it is something. Okay, did you go out with him or gave him any attention for him to be a stalker? He's asking that question for ravishing. So ravishing, you can answer him on that, queen. But listen, let me tell you something. Abusers don't show all of their tendencies during the dating phase. So please don't fool yourself. They do not. They do not. They don't show all of that. Okay. Dating abuse ranks last on a list of topics parents most commonly discuss with their teens. School grades, 95%. Money, 90%. The economy, 83%. Family finance, 78%. Dating relationships, 72%. Alcohol, 71%. Drugs, 71%. Sex, 64%. And dating abuse, 31% talk about abuse to their teens. 31% of the of parents talk about abuse during dating to their children. No, they are extremely strategic with their actions and behaviors. Yes. Listen, we don't talk about dating. Okay. Brenda says, I stayed longer than I should because I was embarrassed. Everyone saw me as being strong and smart. Exactly. 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 I'm sorry, you all. I usually can post your comments, but for some reason, the comments on my regular page are not popping up on the system tonight. I'll figure out what happened on another time. But if you're on Life Behind Closed Doors, those comments are coming up. Or yeah, it's whichever one, those comments are coming up where my cousin's logged on to. So if you have teens, I'm begging you. I am begging you. Talk to your teens about domestic violence. Talk to your teens about abuse. Teens that have witnessed violence within their own families are 50% more likely to be involved in an abusive relationship themselves. They're more likely. Thank you. You're doing a great job in being strong now, Elaine. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Thank you, Eddie. You will not make me cry on this live. Thank you. But please talk to your teens, even if they're not your children. Talk to them. Talk to them and encourage them. And encourage them to do some studies about domestic violence. Talk to them and have them to do some studies about domestic violence, because we don't talk about it in church. Why? I don't know. But I guess this is the reason why God has given me this platform. What's the difference between dating violence and domestic violence? Dating violence is any form of abuse that takes place in a dating relationship. Domestic violence is any form of abuse that takes place in a relationship. Examples such as husband and wife, brother and sister, nephew and aunt, boyfriend, girlfriend, long-term partners, etc. Yes, you are a strong woman of God with such a strong grace. Thank you, Queen. Thank you. Listen, yes, sis, Nisa, talk to your children. Talk to your children. Thank you all for hanging out with me for this hour. I appreciate you all. If you don't have the book, Life Behind Closed Doors, is we have them. We have them today. The Hidden Rage. It's my life about domestic violence. It's $20. Reach out to me. I can always get you the information so you can read it. Read it along with me. Um, if you are a parent, you will be able to see certain signs in your child if domestic violence is occurring. Yes, Sabrina. Yes. Yes, Queen. Thank you. Yes, Queen. Thank you. Thank you all for purchasing. Those of you that have purchased, I thank you all. Thank you all. You need your book, Sister Law? Okay. All right. Reach out to me. No, I'll get it to you. Listen, The Hidden Rage. I'm in the process of writing two more. I kind of like stop because you kind of get writing blocks. It's a continuation. Um, okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love me some Eddie Grissett. He's so supportive. I appreciate him. That's my cash app at the bottom. Um, Thank you all once again. I can't do this without you all, and you all make my heart full. So listen, there is another broadcast next weekend. Elaine, you are doing excellent work and have my sincerest support. Sabrina, without you, you are you are my key. You are the key that kept plugging me to do this. And I appreciate you. Love you too, sis. So the Hidden Rage. The Hidden Rage is available. And once again, thank you all for your support and thank you all for your love. Please like and share because when you like and share, you invite others to watch this broadcast. And like I said, one of my broadcasts did reach 1,000 people to watch it. I appreciate you all, those on YouTube. And if you're not on YouTube or you're not on my YouTube page, please, go and like my page. Go and like my page, the Lady Elaine Nelson, Lady Elaine D. Nelson. And I appreciate you all. Thank you all again for your support. Thank you all for your love. Life Behind Closed Doors is an organization that assists and support domestic violence victims. And we thank you all. Thank you all. I love you all. You all are the best. And as I often say, stay up and not down. Peace and blessings.